Our partner doesn't just see the money, they have a version of ourselves that they see. They have a story about the man that they are with. They need emotional connection from their partner in order to be giving their partner what they want. We expect them to have masculine traits, and that's simply not the way it works. You feel like no matter what you do, you cannot connect with your wife or partner. You argue about stupid shit, you're not having enough intimacy or sex, or you don't feel respected or appreciated by your wife. Then I guarantee you both don't feel understood. In last week's episode of the Empowered Man podcast, we covered 5 things that women don't understand about men. In today's episode, we're going to flip the script and cover 5 things that men, you and I, don't understand about women. Specifically, women who are wives, partners, or mothers, and men who are hardworking family men, husbands, and fathers. Once you understand these 5 things, you will have a much deeper connection with your partner, more intimacy, more sex, better communication, the relationship you deserve. By understanding her better, she will feel supported and loved, and she'll be much more likely to give you that same love, support, and appreciation back. Why is this important? Because to be a modern day man is hard. Wearing all the hats, husband, father, provider, business owner, leader, making money, providing for your family, it's a lot of pressure and stress. And it's a lot harder when you don't have the support or understanding from your wife, but the only way you can get that is by giving her what she needs. So right now we're going to dive into 5 things that men don't understand about women. Now I want to make one thing very clear here. These are all generalizations, but after coaching over 800 men, fixing over 800 marriages, and keeping over 800 families together, I know a lot about how men and women typically think. There are exceptions to every single rule I'm about to share with you here, but in general, these generalizations, they happen quite often and they make a lot of sense. The first thing that men don't understand about women is that women typically need safety, security, clarity, and certainty. Now we know for a fact that our partner wants to be provided for. They want to be looked after. We think we know what they actually want, which is make money, provide, and get us nice things and give us a life of luxury and freedom. But it's not the toys, and it's not the freedom, and it's not the life of luxury that a lot of wives want, especially stay-at-home mothers or wives who are there to lighten the load of a hard-working man who's grinding for his family. What they really want is they want safety and security, and that comes from certainty. As a modern-day man, you create that certainty within your partner by how you show up. If you get with your partner at the beginning and you are healthier, you're not overweight, you are happy, you're positive, and then over the years you begin to lose that same version of yourself, you put on weight, you start working more hours, you get more stressed, you start getting angry and triggered, and you let that pressure and stress that's bottled up within you blow up sometimes and take it out on your family, you then end up being a person who they don't recognize. And this is the thing for so many high-performing men, is we work hard and we make money, and we seem to think that that's enough. But our partner doesn't just see the money, they have a version of ourselves that they see. They have a story about the man that they are with. This is also how divorces happen. If your partner starts to develop a story or a belief or a worldview of how they see you, and they start to have thoughts like, I don't know if he's going to be happy again. He's been like this for years. All he does is drink. He gets angry all the time. There's a certain point where that story becomes a reality. And when they create a story that they cannot be with, that you're never going to change, that it's been going on for too long, that they can't do this anymore, then they go from having certainty that you are the man for them to having certainty that this isn't going to work. And this is why so many partners, happened to me, happened to plenty of our clients, even though we make money and we're successful, a partner can come home and say, I don't love you anymore. I can't do this anymore. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And then what we do as men is we don't understand them. We go, how could she do that overnight? It didn't happen overnight. That woman, that wife, that partner lost certainty in you, doesn't have a clear vision of your future, doesn't feel safe and doesn't feel secure, because any man can make her money, but not every man can give her love, appreciation, support, understanding, empathy, and respect, which are things we stop giving our partner throughout our relationship. So if you stop giving your partner those things, if you don't understand that all she really wants from you is safety, security, certainty, and clarity. She needs to see you as the man she wants to be. She needs to believe that in her core, that that's who you're going to continue to be. If she stops believing that, she's going to start looking for it in different places. This is why women cheat. This is why women leave their partners. This is why so many marriages end in divorce. So the question you get to ask yourself is, cool, am I providing safety and security in terms of money? Sure, you might be, but am I providing safety and security in terms of communication? Am I providing certainty and clarity with my partner in terms of how I show up after a long, stressful day? Is she seeing me be a role model and leader to my children, or is she seeing a grumpy father who takes his stress and pressure out on his loved ones? All of this is creating either uncertainty or certainty within her, safety or danger, clarity or clouded vision. If she can't see safety, security, clarity, and certainty, your relationship is fucked. And most men don't understand this. It's so important, and you've got to understand how it works. The second thing that men don't understand about women or their partners is that women are typically more feminine. Now, you might think you understand this one, but most guys don't. Feminine and masculine are the two different types of energies that exist in every single human being. You can have feminine men and you can have masculine women, but both of these areas represent two very different ways of showing up. Now, we live in a society, in a world where a lot of women have had to become more masculine because they don't have enough masculine men in their life. And there is a balance of energies here. There's a yin and a yang, just like night and day. There has to be a balance. So a lot of women are showing up and working hard, growing businesses, furthering their careers. And there's nothing wrong with that, but those are typically more masculine traits. And that's okay if the man is masculine, but if you're not showing up as a masculine man, you're not looking good, feeling good, standing tall, demanding and earning respect from your partner, then you're very much fucked. Now, the reason that we don't understand this about women is the feminine here is a very different energy. It's a very nurturing energy. Women are designed to nurture and to look after the kids. Like, that's literally what they're designed for. You can argue that all you want. That's biology. I'm not saying women need to do that, but their hips are designed in a way and their body is designed in a way to be impregnated and to give birth and to nurture the children. Now, that's a very feminine trait, to nurture. It's to look after. It's to lighten the load. Men typically are more masculine. We are designed, because we're stronger and we're bigger, that's biology, we're designed to hunt and to kill and to protect and to provide. So back in the day, before social media and society, only a couple of 100 years ago, 300, 400, 500 years ago, before there were farms, there were tribes. And in those tribes or in those civilizations, men would go out and they would go to war and they would hunt and they would get the food, where the woman would forage and look after the household. That was normal back in the day. Now, feminine energy as well is a lot calmer and it's a lot more chaotic. Men are order, women are chaos. So this happens in my relationship often. Because I'm a high-performing business owner, I go all the time. I'm up at 4:45, I'm in a routine, I'm taking action all day, whereas my wife finds it much more challenging to get a lot of stuff done because it's more chaotic. She's more into her feelings. She's more into feeling through things, where I'm into go, take action. Now, what most men don't understand about women is that if a woman is feminine, she finds it a lot harder to take action. She finds it a lot harder to operate at the same level as you. But so many high-performing men, they get upset at their partner. I've done this for years, because she's not getting enough done, or she's not as organized as he wants her to be. So we project this image onto our partner where we actually want them to display masculine traits. We want them to be organized, to handle the kids better, to handle the household better. And when we see them getting overwhelmed, we judge them and expect them to do better without realizing that women are feminine. And we love that about them. That's why we love women. When they get their toes done and their nails done and their hair done and they look great and they dress up, that's what we love. We love when they lighten the load at the household. But the problem is we expect them to have masculine traits, and that's simply not the way it works. Think about masculine and feminine energy like a riverbank. The river itself, the water, is the feminine. It flows and it rages, and when the rain comes or when certain conditions of the weather change, it floods and it goes up and it goes down. The water is constantly changing. It's never the same. The riverbanks that keep the river from overflowing and flooding is the masculine energy. So if you have a partner that you're judging because she's not operating at your level or she's not looking after things to the level you think she should, you get to really slow down and go, okay, cool. So my wife needs safety, security, clarity, and certainty. She needs to see that from me. Am I expecting her to be hyper masculine? Or can I be okay with her being feminine? Is it okay that she's done the best with what she's got? When you understand this principle, you realize that a lot of the judgment you have towards your wife or partner is because you expect her to be like you. And if she was exactly like you, you'd probably hate her because you wouldn't want that sort of person. I know for me, I'm very difficult to be around, and I love my wife for who she is, but there were many times in my life where I didn't understand that women are typically more feminine, and it's such an important principle to improving your relationship. The third thing that men don't understand about women is that women are emotional creatures. You might be thinking, fuck you, Tony. I understand that. I can see that. I feel that from my partner. But we actually get to dive deeper into this. Women need to feel emotions. Men also need to feel emotions. As men and as women, doesn't matter if you have a dick and balls or a vagina, you're going to have thoughts and you're going to have feelings. But typically, women are much more in tune with their feelings. They feel things more. My wife is a feeler, not a thinker. I'm a thinker, she's not a feeler. Again, that comes down to masculine and feminine energy. So what this means is that because women are more emotional, they need emotional connection from their partner in order to be giving their partner what they want. If at the beginning of your relationship, your partner was more sexual, she was giving you more respect and appreciation, and she wanted you more, and that started to go away, we then begin to blame our partner. A lot of guys that I work with get upset because their partner won't give them sex. They have sex once a week, once a month, sometimes once a year. And then the story is, this is unfair. I work my ass off. I do this, I do that, I do that. And it becomes like this competition. I'm doing all this for my family and all I want is some sex. That's a logical way of thinking. Your thought is, it's so simple. You can just do it. It's not that hard. Just lay there, right? This is not true. If your partner is not giving you as a man love, appreciation, support, understanding or empathy, respect, she's not sexual with you, that means one thing. It means that her emotional connection is low. Her love bank is empty. Now, I've done a podcast episode on this in the past, but basically your partner has a love bank. So do you, but your partner has a love bank. Now, imagine you go to the bank and you try and withdraw $10,000, but there's only $5 in the bank account. You're not going to be able to withdraw any money, or you're going to go into overdraft. So that's like going to your partner. Her balance is empty. She's got no love to give, no appreciation, no sex to give. And then you try and take some out. And she'll either get angry at you or judge you and won't give you any, or she'll give you some, but then you go into a deficit. So she's giving you from an empty cup. Men are typically more logical, women are emotional. So what we don't understand about women is if we want them to give us the things we desire, it actually begins with giving them what they desire first. And there are 5 key things that every woman needs that men don't really understand. They don't just need money or certainty or clarity or providing. They need love, appreciation, support, understanding and respect from you. And there are a number of ways you can give that to them. You can tell them, you can show them quality time. They're going to have different love languages. Ultimately here, as a man, if you don't have a great relationship, it begins with you. Your partner has a role to play. You can't change your partner though. What you can do is you can fill her love bank. And the way you do this is you do it with an expectation of nothing in return. You literally give her the thing she desires every single day for a month, a year, and you don't expect anything in return. But if you do this correctly, it will come back to you multiple times. This happens in my relationship. My wife, when she's tired or stressed, even though she feels those things, she still feels loved and supported, appreciated and understood, and she will give me what I desire even if she doesn't feel like it. Not because I forced her to, because she wants to. She wants to make me feel loved because she feels loved. This is also why a lot of partners, a lot of women have insecurities. You have women who don't mind if you look in the direction of another woman, and you have women that do. And this is something my wife and I struggled with for a while. There is an emotional connection there. My wife was cheated on when she was younger by her partner. He was a stoner who just smoked weed and cheated on her. So when we got into a relationship, I liked medical marijuana. I would have it here and there. She didn't like that. If I looked in the direction of another woman, she would create a story in her head that I wanted to sleep with that woman and that I wanted to be with that woman. Now she'd say, I saw you looking at her. And my response would be, looking at who? I genuinely had no fucking idea who she was talking about. But in her head, because of the emotions in her body, the trauma from her previous relationship, she'd create that story because she felt insecure. She felt all these irrational emotions. It's like having anxiety. It's irrational. When you're anxious about something bad happening, it's an irrational fear, but it's an emotion, and it's such a strong emotion that it dictates behaviors, actions, and reactions. So if your partner is getting angry at you, if she's at your throat over stupid shit, if you don't feel that connection, it means that you don't understand that she is an emotional creature and you get to understand her emotions. You get to ask her what she's feeling. She might even not know what she's feeling. You get to understand her better. You get to fill her love bank and fill her cup. And as a direct result, what's going to happen is she's going to want to fill your cup and she's going to be more mindful of how her emotions affect you. If you're getting value from this content and you want to upgrade yourself, you want to fix your marriage or relationships, you want to find work-life balance, or you want to be successful and winning in life, then SMS the number on the screen right now saying upgrade. SMS upgrade to 0482 097 778. That's +61 482 097 778. SMS upgrade to +61 482 097 778. And what we'll do is we'll send you all of our best content on health, wealth, and relationships completely for free. So SMS the number on the screen right now to get on our list, and we'll send you all the stuff you need to win. Final point on this, because we've spent a bit of time on it. I've talked to my wife in the last few months during our love meetings that we teach in this podcast about how her role in the relationship is to lighten my load. It's to lighten the load because I work hard all day. I've had a stressful day. I've dealt with 20 different things. We talked about this in the previous episode. And my job is to provide for her and her family and our family. And her job is to lighten my load. And she knows that when she gets emotional or takes it out on me, because I understand her well now, she knows that that actually makes my load heavier. And she's more mindful of it. This takes communication, connection, conversation. But when you understand that women are emotional creatures, which you think you do, but when you understand they need to have their love bank filled, magic begins to happen in your relationships. Fourth thing that men do not understand about women is that women typically have massive hormonal fluctuations. Now you might say, I do understand this. Once a month, something weird happens, and we can joke about periods and monthlies and all that sort of stuff as much as we want. But we truly do not understand how difficult it is to fight your biology. As men, it's easy for us. We just jizz and, jack off and work and grind and we get angry and stressed and stuff, but we do not have the same highs and lows that most women typically feel. There is an immense amount of hormonal energy going on in your partner's life. And this is the thing, hormones affect everything. You can do all the meditation and mindset work, and you can have everything lined up in a row as a man and as a woman. But when your hormones spike, you're fighting your biology, and that's so difficult to do. So, for example, when my partner is stressed out or triggered once a month or throughout the month, it's not necessarily because she's had a bad day or she's a bad person. It's because she's not even aware that her hormones are all over the place. And this happens not just with periods, it happens with children. When a woman has children, her hormones skyrocket. If you've noticed that your partner is emotional, when Rosie was pregnant, she was super emotional one day and then happy the next hour. It's difficult to control that because they don't know when it's happening. It's like when your heart rate on your heart rate watch or Apple Watch shows you your heart rate's up, you know what's happening. It's not the same with your hormones. So periods, having children, the hormones are raging, and it's not just for a day or two. When you have children, those hormones are raging all the time. There's a unique connection to the child, and when a wife hears the child screaming, that's when she freaks out. There's hormones that spike up when that happens. We'll talk about that in the next thing men don't understand about women. So when our partner is at our throats, when we feel like they don't understand us, we forget their hormones have a role to play. And ultimately, when your partner and you aren't connected, it means that they want an outcome. So when they're at your throat and when they get upset at you, their hormones have a role to play, but ultimately they want an outcome. And what we tend to do as men is we go, why are you acting this way? Why are you being like this? Why are you making my life difficult? Why are you nagging me? Why are you stressing me out? Instead of asking why, what you get to do is you get to say, well, how can I understand this person better? She was fine an hour ago, now she's not. Instead of going, I don't understand why this could happen, go, cool, how can I understand her better? What might be causing her to feel this way? Could it be her hormones? Could it be that she hasn't eaten? That's another thing. If women don't eat, their hormones go all over the place. So if you've ever had your wife do what my wife does, she goes, I'm hungry. In my head, the logical solution is, just go and eat. It's not that difficult, right? But we don't understand them because we don't feel that same level of up and down of our hormones. And it's fucking mind-boggling. We can't feel it, right? So the way that you fix this is you got to be really empathetic towards your partner when they're acting a certain way. You got to know when is the right time to try and fix things. And when is the right time to just let them rage or do whatever they need to do and let them cool down? This is something I still find challenging in my relationship, and I teach this shit. I've helped a lot of men through it. Recently with Rosie, when she's upset or triggered about something, instead of telling her what to do to fix it or telling her she's wrong for feeling that way, I try and understand what's causing her to feel that way. I'm like, cool, it might be her period. She might be stressed about Talia, our daughter. And I try and be empathetic towards how she's feeling instead of judging her. So many of us as men, especially high performers, we judge the fuck out of our partner. We judge them for how they're showing up instead of understanding that their hormones and their fluctuations and the children and all the stuff that's going on throughout them and outside of them is massively impacting how they think and how they feel. So we get to be empathetic towards the fact that if they're not showing up as the best woman they can be, it's not intentional. They're doing the best with what they've got. And most men don't understand this. We just go into judgment, expectations, and that's not how you treat someone you love, because love is the absence of judgment. So the fourth thing here is that women experience massive hormonal fluctuations that we will never understand. Just like they don't understand how fucking stressful it is going to war, growing a business, and working hard to provide for your family with the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's about understanding each other's perspectives, and this is a massive. The fifth thing that men don't understand about women is the emotional connection that they have to their children. This is so difficult for us to ever get close to comprehending. When my daughter cries, Rosie will just visibly get more stressed and triggered. And in my mind, logically, I say, why don't you just not get upset about it? Just ignore it. Don't let it stress you out. One thing she consistently tries to teach me and share with me, because we have great communication, is you don't understand. She says that, you don't understand. It's like something snaps within me when I hear her crying. And for so many women, what happens is when they have children, they feel like they've lost their identity because they never switch off. I know for the first year of having a daughter or a child, my wife never switched off. As soon as our daughter started crying, she would wake up. Sleepless nights. She would do this to support me in the business so that I could grow this thing instead of going up and waking up for my daughter. When we go to dinner, she's constantly checking things. She feels like she can never switch off. And over the last 2 years of having a child, she's had so many moments where she feels like she's lost her identity. She feels like she's lost her freedom. She feels like she doesn't know who she is anymore. And only recently has she started to rebuild that. Super proud of her. She's meditating, exercising, going to this local CrossFit type gym, hang out with friends. Like, she's finding herself again. But during those first 2 years, because of social media and society, she thought she needed to make money and provide as well. So she was trying to balance being a mother with all the pressure and stress of that and the loss of freedom and the loss of identity, while also feeling like she wasn't providing enough because she's been told by society that she needs to also do that, which causes a clash. Because in my mind, if she's a great mother and she's loving life and loving being a mother and enjoying herself, that's why I work so fucking hard. But so many men don't understand this. There is a deep emotional connection that a woman has to her child. We cannot understand it. Like, for me, I love my daughter, but I can hang out with her for an hour a day. That's fine. Like, that's enough for me. I want to spend more time with her, sure. But for women, it's not the same. For a lot of women, it's not the same. And we judge that as well. When our partner snaps at the kids or yells at them, we judge it. There have been so many moments where I can hear from upstairs. It hasn't been recently, but at the beginning, where Rosie would get upset or triggered at our daughter. And in my head, I'm like, our daughter's a year and a half old, a year old. Why are you getting upset at her? She can't control her emotions, you can. And again, I'd go into that phase of judgment where I'm like, what are you doing? But it's because there's that deep emotional connection. It's because she spends every single moment with our daughter that it's really hard for her to switch that off. Like, think about it. As a man, if you were working hard and grinding, but you felt like there was no point to it all, it never ends, you never get to switch off, you'd hate your life. Now, you might feel elements of that, but realistically, you can switch off. You choose when your business runs or doesn't. You choose if you hire or fire someone. You choose if you take time off. If you're not doing that, that's your choice. You can't take time off from children. And for a lot of women, it's this constant pressure, this constant feeling of I can't switch off. I can't have myself. I can't have my freedom. I can't have my identity. And when you lose your identity as a human, that's so fucking difficult. So as men, we get to be more empathetic. Even though we're working hard and grinding, we get to be more empathetic towards what our partner is going through and the connection they have with the children, because it's completely different for a woman compared to a man. It's a completely different connection, completely different emotions, completely different feelings. We get to understand that about our partner. We also get to understand that if they see you working hard and providing, they might not see all the stress and pressure you're going through. This was the previous episode. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. And this is where a lot of women build resentment towards their partner because they feel like he can switch off. So I work 8, 9, 10 hours a day. I have meetings. I have a lot of pressure and stress. But every day I make time to be by myself, go for a walk, sauna, meditate. My wife feels like she doesn't have that time. This is where a lot of resentment can build. And then we wonder why our partner's upset at us or why they resent us. It's because they think we have that freedom, even though we're working hard and providing. You can see how the lack of understanding on both sides can destroy a relationship. And it's so important you communicate these things and feel understood by each other. And there's going to be one more thing I share with you in a second, so make sure you stick around for that. But let's recap the 5 things that men typically don't understand about women. 1, women need safety, security, clarity, and certainty. They need to see the man they want to be with. They need to know they're going to be provided for, protected. They need to know you're going to be the one for them. As soon as they start doubting that, that's when relationships break down. 2, women are typically more feminine. They have feminine traits. They take less action. They're more chaotic. Men are more logical. Women are more emotional. They're typically more feminine, and that's okay. If you're judging them for not taking enough action or being the person you want them to be, ask yourself, do I want a feminine woman or do I want a woman like myself? The answer is often that you don't want a woman like yourself. Number 3 is that women are emotional creatures. They feel things. We think things. They need to have their love bank filled. They need to feel supported and loved and understood by you to give that back to you. If you feel a disconnection in your relationship, you can be damn sure that you don't understand your woman's emotions. You don't understand how to fill her cup and give her what she desires to fuel her love and appreciation so she can give it back to you. Number 3 is women have massive hormonal fluctuations. Periods, children, they are fighting their biology so often, and we judge them for how they show up instead of being empathetic towards what's going on inside of their body. It's fucking difficult, and we don't understand that. And then number 5 is that women have a unique connection to their children. So many marriages end when children come into the picture. Things get stressful, the lack of sleep, and we don't actually understand how difficult it is for our wife or partner to be a mother. It's also difficult to be a father and a provider and a husband, but we cannot understand what it's like to be a mother and what goes on inside of the body and the mind. So we get to try and understand that better by communicating with our partner. And ultimately, that's the secret here. Just like in the previous week's episode, we get to understand each other. And you do that through communication. You do that through learning about each other. You do that through asking powerful questions. And that's hard. If you're making money and providing and growing a business and putting food on the table, to also make time around the kids and around the pressure and around the stress to get to know your partner and connect. But the alternative here for so many men is divorce. 50% of marriages end in divorce. So if you want to fix your marriage and reconnect with your partner, if you want to have success in your business and career while also having a great relationship, if you want to be a better father, a better husband, a better man, you got to have a plan, you got to have a roadmap. That's exactly why the Empowered Man exists. So if you got value from this video, there'll be a link down below where you'll be able to book a coaching session with our team. And on that session, we'll create a custom roadmap for you on how you can have it all. A relationship full of intimacy, love, and connection, a business that spews out cash with work-life balance, and a healthy body and mind. Because life's too short to not be the best man you can be for your family. So if you got value, go and book a coaching session with the team. Feel free to drop a comment, a like, a 5-star review wherever you're watching this, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Empowered Man podcast. If you're getting value from this content and you want to upgrade yourself, you want to fix your marriage or relationships, you want to find work-life balance, or you want to be successful and winning in life, then SMS the number on the screen right now saying upgrade. SMS upgrade to 0482 097 778. That's +61 482 097 778. SMS upgrade to +61 482 097 778. And what we'll do is we'll send you all of our best content on health, wealth, and relationships completely for free. So SMS the number on the screen right now to get on our list, and we'll send you all the stuff you need to win.